Hello everyone, welcome to Xinhua Live. My name is Natajia or Yu Zhenju, and today we are in Sishilidian, which is in Helan County, which is in Ningxia, which is the Hui Autonomous Region. So today we have an amazing program ahead of us because today we are celebrating with the farmers during their Farmers Harvest Festival, which is a great time for them to just be paying homage to the great farming that they do, to the traditions of the Chinese farming culture, and also to the advancement that they've had in recent years. Not to mention the creativity of the farmers, which we're going to see very soon. But for now, we are going to come over here and we're going to speak with one of the local farmers, and she's going to tell us all about how she's making paddy rice in the paddy fields. Please follow me. 你好。你好。你好吗？你好。你做什么？
割稻子。
割稻子。啥意思啊？
割水稻，就我们吃大米。
Okay. Very nice. Please let.
你需要吗？这样一割，割我们吃就碎。再拿一个刀，学一下。
Okay.
这样。
Got it. 谢谢老师。
没事。
So right now what we're doing is we are just collecting the rice here, and just to let you know that there have been several technological advances when it comes to this. So actually we're only doing this to show you what's going on, but nowadays it's actually fully modernized and all of this hard laborious work is done by machines now. So my friend here, Miss Lu, doesn't have to do all of this anymore because, like I said, it's done by machines. And also in recent years, the Chinese government have been doing a lot of new policies that are going to be aiding the farmers to be able to help them to do their work better. For example, the pesticides are actually done by drones, and also they have done so many other things such as mobile apps. Instead of being done by the farmers, mobile apps is doing most of the work when it comes to laborious things. We're lucky we don't have to do this work anymore. But this is just to show some of the advancements, because back in the days, you know, they had to do this by hand, the same way Miss Lu is doing it now. Before, they had to do this entire field by themselves, using their hands, very labor-intensive job. But because of the modern advancements in technology in China, all over China, people are using machines to do this instead. So this is why we're celebrating the Harvest Festival, and this is like the first Harvest Festival ever, because the autumn equinox is from the 22nd to the 24th, so on the 23rd they're going to be celebrating the Harvest Festival, and it's going to be the first Harvest Festival ever. Hopefully there'll be many more to come. All right. 好了。Okay. Thank you. So now we're going to move on to the next part, which is more machine activated. We're going to do some peeling and thrashing and things of this nature. So please follow me. So some of the really cool information we're going to learn is, I know for me, I never knew what was really the difference between brown rice and white rice, but today we're going to learn that difference as Miss Lu is going to teach us exactly what makes the difference. It's actually all about the polishing. The brown rice is obviously the most organic, and it's also the least polished. So when we get upstairs, we're going to find out exactly how that's done, what makes the difference, and is brown rice really healthier than white? That is the question. So here we are at the machine. Miss Lu is going to be right back. So I I'm very curious about how this machine is going to work. I see there's an on and off button, so I guess what she's going to do, I'm guessing. I am really not sure. But I think she's going to put her wheat here, and then I think it's going to come out the other end peeled. There is something here that says don't touch, so that probably means this is where the peeling process is going to happen. So I'll keep my hands away, just to be sure. And here are some levers. Ah! We'll let the expert let us know now. Ah. Okay. So Miss Lou is taking some of the crops now that we've just taken out, head first into the machine. No hands, guys, no hands. Ah. And as she's putting it down, you can see coming out the other end is some of the trash. Interesting. Very cool. Okay. So there's like a roller pin inside that's rolling off the grass and pulling it out the other end. There's also some wind blowing happening now as well. Very cool. Okay. Miss Lou, is it okay if I try? Hold it very tight, guys. And then, inside we go. Oh! Ah! So you shake it off just to make sure that we get all of the seeds. All of the little rice grains. And we're going to turn it around just to make sure that we don't waste any of it. Very cool. And that is done. That is done. Can I try one more time? Okay. I'm going to try one more time since I'm an expert now. With the help of the real expert. Okay. So we take it, put it down head first with the grain, and lift. And that is what we don't do. This is how we don't do it. So, basically, this is to show you the machine is very strong, so you have to make sure to hold on to these very tightly or else this will happen, okay? Okay. One more. So now we see how Miss Lou is doing it. She's holding it very tightly, so that she doesn't let it go all the way in, because there is a machine inside that's sucking back the crop. So if you let it go, it will slip out and then you'll lose some of this wonderful grains down here. Ta-da! Done. And that is the first part of the process, guys. I'm going to stop shouting now since the machine is off. And this is the final product. Now we'll move on to the next part, done with my friend Mr. Machine over here. And moving right along, here is the first part. Okay, we have some lovely grains here. And it's awesome that this is done by machine, because can you imagine trying to do this by hand? It would be really, 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 really difficult. So this is what we have here, and we're ready for part 2, which is another machine. Like I said, technological advancements. And I'm going to hand this to you.
对，这个太湿了。这个要用那个。
Wow. 你好。
你好。
Ah, great. So, here, if you can see the difference between this one and this one, These ones are a bit more green because they're fresh. As you saw, we just did them. But these ones have been dried for about 2 to 3 days. Obviously, we don't have time in 20 minutes to show you how that's done, but it goes from this to this. So before we can do this process, we have to make sure that the grains are dried, okay? Alrighty. Thrashing. So now we're at thrashing. We're thrashing the grains now. So let's see how that's done. So we started here, playing with some buttons over here. And now the grains are going down. So as you can see, they're going in as grains and coming out as beautiful white or brown rice as we've known them. I've been told that actually the different levels is what gives us the different types of rice. For example, I believe level 8 is brown, and as it continues to go down, there's like medium, and then there is completely polished. So brown rice is the one that most people that are ecologically friendly like, and right now I believe this is white or brown. But now we have rice, people. So we pick it up like this, and simply we just dump it over here. Make sure we try to get all of this stuff out because we don't want that in our rice, right? And as you can see, the machine does all the work. It goes in with all of the shells and everything on it and comes out ready to put in boiled white rice or fried rice or however you like your rice, it's already ready to go. So now you've seen the process so far from the garden to the final product, almost final product. Okay. Very interesting. Very cool. Interesting. The rice actually is very, very fragrant. So what Miss Lou taught me is that you can like rub it in your hands and then take a sniff, and you can see that this is fresh rice. You've heard of fresh fish and fresh vegetables. Now, ladies and gentlemen, fresh rice. Okay. All right. Hola, everyone. So now that's it for the rice part. You've seen all of the steps as it is prepared. Now I can stop shouting again. Now you've seen all the steps as far as preparing the rice from the field to over here where we peel, and then finally to the thrasher. And then you get the final product, beautiful, delicious, fragrant rice. And now we're going to go to a place that's very familiar with me, the fish pond. Because, you know, in the Bahamas, we're all about fishing, big fishing industry, and sadly, I'm probably the worst fisherman or fisherwoman in the whole Bahamas, but we're going to try it out today, okay? We're going to follow Miss Lou, and Miss Lou is going to show us the way. Awesome.
稻田鱼。
So.
从田里面捉上来，捉到这里面开始卖销售。
Okay. So, if I understand correctly with the little bit of Chinese that I do understand, these fishes are by this pole, I guess you can say, feeding the pond, because actually what they're using is a system, Tao yu, some type of fish. So, during this process, it's actually called stereo cropping or multi-cropping. Basically, the process is to use these fishes, and we also have loach and crab and shrimp. They're using these fishes to actually fertilize the paddy fields to make them more plentiful. So this process is similar to the same process that's used in the U.S., whereas they are using horse manure. But in this case, we have sea animals, aquatic creatures that are doing basically the same thing. In addition, there are usually frogs there, and the frogs actually eat the insects, which means they don't have to use as much pesticide. So that's a double dose of awesomeness with this procedure. Also, these fish are currently in the ponds only because it's harvest season. So if it were a normal day that's not September 23rd or September 22nd, we would be seeing these animals actually over here in the fields, because usually they are one with the paddy fields. But today, we are going to see them in their second home, which is the ponds. So as we walk down, we will see some other types of fishes. Woo! And one jumped out at us. 鲫鱼.
对，田里面放小鲫鱼。
小鲫, small 鲫.
对。
Okay, so this is pond number 2, the small 鲫.
走，我们是那边。
One small Jew is very excited to see us because he keeps jumping out.
泥鳅，稻田养泥鳅。
泥鳅.
对对对。
泥鳅 is actually a new fish to me because I had to Google it. They're called loach, actually, in English. So I've never seen a loach before because there aren't any loaches in the Bahamas, and I don't think in the Western world. I think they're indigenous to Far East Asia. But you may have seen some loach actually in your aquarium because they are normally actually in the aquariums in Western countries. So here are the loach live and in action. And the next pond we have is the crab pond.
螃蟹。
螃蟹. I'm learning so many new Chinese words today. 螃蟹, crabs. Wow. So Miss Liu is catching some of the crabs so we can have a closer look as they are trying to run away, but they cannot get out of the way of Miss Liu. So you can see here, these are the crabs that are used. Woo! And one is very jumpy, and there goes another one and another one. So basically these crabs, as I said, they're used in the stereo cropping or multi-cropping. Okay, guys? So these crabs, these fish, they're all used to fertilize the ground. And we have another pond of crabs over here. Just about the same. And our last stop is my favorite because it's the cutest stop because it's duckies! And I love duckies! So the ducks are probably the main source of the fertilization, using their manure in order to help to fertilize the fields, which is pretty awesome in my perspective. And the ducks are so cute.
稻田鸭。
稻田鸭。好的。
小时候放进去让在田里面除草。
Awesome. 谢谢你 for your information. So, as you can see here, these are the awesome ducks that help to fertilize the fields, which is pretty awesome. Oh, also, there are small ones. They're not here right now, but I wish they were because I would love to see some small, cute little ducklings today. But maybe next time, guys, we're going to see some ducklings, okay? Now, we're going to actually go fishing. Cross your fingers, please, for me, because I don't want to embarrass the Bahamas with my lack of fishing skills. But let's see how it goes, and we'll also see the difference between fishing maybe in the Bahamas versus fishing in China. Let's try it out. So now we're going to really see if I have any fishing skills or not. Let's see how it goes. Oh, it's net fishing, so it's much easier because I usually use a fish, a line, and a hook. So you have to do a lot of work. It's very laborious, and you have to do timing to make sure that the fish doesn't fall off of your line. It's a whole thing that goes into it. But this, hopefully, is a little bit less of a challenge for me. But again, we'll find that out soon. You see some jumping over here, so maybe that's a nice spot. You'll find out shortly. Let's see, our friend got one. No. I think that the same problem with the net is a similar problem to what I had in the Bahamas with fishes and lines, which is timing, because fishing is all about timing. Even if there are 10,000 fish in the sea, if you don't time it correctly, they will not jump into your net, or in the Bahamas case, they will not be hooked onto your line, and you'll be here waiting fishless for a long time. Okay, so as I was briefly mentioning, here we have an automatic fish feeder. I told you guys it's all about automation, right? So as you can see here, we have some food coming out to feed the fishes, and as the food is feeding the fishes are actually feeding the paddy fields, because as I said, there's a fertilization process happening. So this water that we see here with the fishes in it is actually circulating out and into the fields for the paddy, right? So that is then circulated back over here on this side. So they have an entire circulation process like down pat. As I said, the food is completely automized. The running of the water into the paddy field is completely automized. And also over here, it's a full circulation process, completely and utterly efficient. So this is just another look at the technological advancements, which is absolutely awesome in my opinion. And that's all we have for today, guys. I hope that you had a really, really awesome time enjoying the paddy fields. My name is Natajia, and I had a lovely day. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you for joining us on Sin Hua Live.